Hey there, Peter here. This is Amazon Rufus, and today we're digging into how Amazon Rekognition reads text in your product images. That lifestyle shot with your benefit callouts overlaid in elegant 8-point font, Rufus can't read it. Your comparison chart with tiny text showing why you're better than competitors, invisible to the AI. Amazon Rekognition, the computer vision service that feeds image data into Rufus, fails to extract text from roughly 40% of seller images because the text is too small, has insufficient contrast, or uses stylized fonts the OCR model can't pass. And here's what most sellers don't realize. When you upload a product image to Amazon, it doesn't just sit in your image library waiting for shoppers to click through. Before that image ever reaches a customer, it gets processed through Amazon Rekognition, AWS's computer vision service that extracts text, identifies objects, detects logos, and analyzes image quality. This extracted data becomes part of your product's structured catalog record that Cosmo indexes and Rufus queries. But here's the problem. Sellers spend hours creating infographics with feature comparisons, benefit callouts, and specification details. They're optimizing for human buyers scrolling through image carousels. They're not optimizing for the OCR model that actually determines whether that text makes it into Rufus's knowledge base. So what's actually happening when you upload a product image? Let's break down the technical workflow. When your image hits Amazon servers, Rekognition runs a text detection analysis. It's looking for text regions in the image using a deep learning model trained to identify character boundaries, text orientation, and font characteristics. The model outputs bounding boxes around detected text regions, then feeds those regions into an OCR engine that converts pixels into machine-readable characters. But here's where most sellers lose. Rekognition's text detection model has minimum requirements. If your text is smaller than roughly 20 pixels in height at the image's uploaded resolution, the model often can't reliably detect it. If your text color has less than a 4.5:1 contrast ratio against the background, which is standard WCAG accessibility guidance, the bounding box detection fails. And if you're using a highly stylized script font or a condensed typeface with unusual kerning, the OCR engine can't pass individual characters accurately. Amazon's actually published guidance on this in their Rekognition documentation. They recommend minimum font sizes, high contrast color combinations, and standard sans-serif fonts for reliability. But most sellers never read AWS technical documentation. They're designing images in Canva using templates optimized for Instagram, not for computer vision models. Here's what happens downstream. When Rekognition can't extract text from your image, that information simply doesn't make it into your catalog record. Cosmo doesn't index it. Rufus can't cite it. Your carefully crafted benefit statements that explain why your yoga mat is better than competitors, if they're in 10-point script font over a gradient background, they might as well not exist. Rufus has no idea those claims are there. Now, let's talk about what Rekognition can successfully extract. Clean sans-serif text at 24 pixels or larger. High contrast combinations like black text on white backgrounds or white text on dark backgrounds. Standard text orientation, horizontal left to right. When Rekognition successfully extracts this text, it gets tagged with confidence scores. Text extracted with 90% plus confidence makes it into your structured catalog data. Text below 80% confidence might get flagged for human review or dropped entirely. This matters because Rufus doesn't just show shoppers your main image. When Rufus generates an answer, it can cite specific features from your catalog including text extracted from your supplementary images. If you've got a comparison chart showing your product specs versus generic competitors and Rekognition can actually read that chart, Rufus might cite those specific claims when a shopper asks, what's the difference between this and cheaper options? Most sellers assume this is about image quality or file size. It's not. You can have a gorgeous 2000 pixel wide image with perfect resolution, but if the text overlays are in a decorative font at 12-point size over a busy background, Rekognition's confidence scores drop below usable thresholds. It's not about the image looking good to human eyes. It's about whether a computer vision model can pass the visual information into structured text data. Here's the misunderstanding I see constantly. Sellers think Amazon's image requirements are about aesthetics or customer experience. They read the style guide about white backgrounds and image dimensions and figure they're compliant. But Amazon's image requirements have two purposes. One is visual consistency for shoppers. The other is technical compatibility with Rekognition's processing pipeline. The second purpose is what affects your Rufus visibility, and it's the one most sellers completely ignore. This isn't Amazon being arbitrary or changing the rules. It's computer vision fundamentals. OCR models are trained on data sets with certain characteristics. When your image text falls outside those characteristics, too small, too stylized, too low contrast, the model literally cannot extract it reliably. No amount of optimization or algorithm updates will make a 10-point script font suddenly readable to Rekognition. So what can you actually audit right now? Open your product listings. Look at images 2 through 7, your supplementary images where you typically add benefit callouts, comparison charts, and feature explanations. For each text element in those images, ask 3 questions. First, is this text at least 24 pixels tall at the uploaded image resolution? If you're uploading 2000 pixel wide images and your text is 20 pixels tall, you're borderline. Scale it up. Second, what's the contrast ratio between the text and background? If you're using white text on a light gray background or black text on a dark blue background, you're probably below 4.5 to 1. Use a contrast checker tool. Make it obvious. Third, is this a standard sans-serif font? If you're using brush script or some decorative display typeface, Rekognition's OCR accuracy drops significantly. Switch to Arial, Helvetica, or Amazon Ember. Boring works. Here's what you're testing for. Can someone standing 10 feet from your monitor still read this text clearly? If yes, Rekognition probably can too. If you're squinting or moving closer to make out the words, the A's, I definitely can't read it. One more thing to check, text orientation. If you've rotated text to run vertically along the side of your image, or if you've curved text to follow a circular design element, Rekognition's detection confidence drops. The model is optimized for horizontal left to right text. Keep your important claims in standard orientation. Bottom line, your product images aren't just marketing assets. They're structured data sources that feed Amazon's AI systems. Rekognition extracts the text. Cosmo indexes it. Rufus queries it. If the AI can't read your image text, it might as well not be there. This isn't about gaming the algorithm. It's about understanding how computer vision actually works and designing images that are technically compatible with Amazon's processing pipeline. And your images don't need to be boring. They need to be passable, clean fonts, high contrast, readable size. That's what makes it into Rufus's knowledge base. Everything else is invisible. This episode is brought to you by Atomic, growth-oriented Amazon services for sellers who've outgrown generic agencies.